Hey there, welcome to another short tutorial. Today's topic is tree on the reformer, and this is a request from Tessa. Thank you, Tessa. You've made many requests, and I am getting to them slowly. I've received so much wonderful feedback on these video tutorials, these exercise tutorials, and I want to thank you so much for sharing that with me. I'm glad that you feel that they're helpful and that they get you excited about working on the exercises. That makes me very happy. So today we're going to look at the tree. So let's just get set up. The foot bar goes down. We're on 2 springs. The headpiece goes down. And I'm going to bring, the tree is part of the short box series. So I'm going to bring the box and the pole. And then I'm going to put a pad on the top. I'll get my 2 straps for my feet. And so in the short box, by the time you get to the tree, you've done round, reach, side to side or side bend, and twist. And so tree is really the last exercise in the short box series, in the traditional short box series. And it's a great exercise, and it's really one that's going to grow with you. It starts out very basic, and then it can turn into a wonderful embellishment that is a preview of the high bridge to come. And you can kind of do as little or as much of it as someone can do. So let's look at how we'll start. So before you get to the tree, you've had the straps on your feet tight, and you're sitting kind of back on the box. Once you take 1 foot out, the strap will be slack, and that's perfectly fine. Your stomach is working, you're gonna sit up on the box for a moment, and you're not gonna fall off. And generally we think of the tree exercise as a stretch of the back of the leg, or that it's about the leg that you have. And keep remembering that it's really about the posture that you set up in the beginning parts of the short box series. You built that work of the reach in there and that lift of the back. So that's all in the tree as well. And you're really culminating in a global stretch of the whole back of the body, which does include the back of the leg. But the more you consider what's going on in your back, the greater the stretch in the leg will be. So try to sit as upright as you can. Your leg doesn't have to be all the way to your chest, especially if it sinks your back. So sit up as much as you can. Keep your leg at a spot where you feel like it's not jammed up in your hip, but you have an easy hold on it. Sometimes we're taught to do this, and I learned this as well. I feel like this might be like a special population, special cases kind of scenario, because if you have one arm different than the other, it might make your shoulders kind of uneven. It might make the squareness of the box of your trunk a little askew, and you really want to keep that squareness here as much as you can. And it might be that, to put your leg against your chest is just going to leave you back here somewhere. So I like to hold both hands in the same spot so that this part is very easy. And then I try to sit up as tall as I can and stretch my leg. And if when you sit up tall, your leg doesn't quite straighten, perhaps that's very tight back there, that's perfectly okay. I would think this would take precedence over straightening your leg but sinking your back. So the tree is done all in 3s. You're kind of shaking out the work that you did in the strap. You're just kind of like easing it out a little bit. And then you'll walk up to your ankle. And the tree is done in various incarnations, various different ways. People teach it differently. I like this way because I feel like it really opens up the low back, which I need, and I feel like many people need. So here we are again. Sorry, I keep talking. So stretch the leg, then walk out toward the ankle. I like to lift my back up at this point, almost like I'm pushing my leg down into my hands. It gives me greater stretch in the back of the leg. It lifts me out of my low back. And then I can kind of spine stretch forward toward my leg. And now this is the position that my stomach is going to take me backward. The strap on my foot's going to tighten, and my foot is going to go to the ceiling. So that might be all that somebody does maybe the first time. Maybe they sit up, they stretch their leg, they learn how to go back and trust the strap that they won't fall to their death. Always a concern. And maybe that's what they do, and then they sit up again. And they scoop, and they sit up again. And they kind of get used to it. So then, we start again. Scoot, lift up, stretch to your leg, tip back. And so then, you're just going to lower yourself as much as you can return again and climb up your leg. And you may notice, depending if you're doing it yourself or you're teaching someone that's doing it, you may notice that there's a lot of kind of hip stuff that may or may not be in place. There may be one hip that wants to stay hiked, that doesn't, that sort of stuff will happen. Just kind of notice, and over time as you get more proficient in the two-way stretch, one half of the body going one way, the other lifting away, opening up this area, that should sort it out. It should sort itself out over time, and as long as you're feeling good. So this is the sort of the initial version of tree. You go back as much as you can and you climb back up 3 times. And then if it's available to you, after all that, you can reach your heel to the ceiling, you can hold onto your toes. Sometimes this is called picking the apple on your tree. And you really want to try to pull yourself away from your leg so that you're going to spine stretch forward yourself over your leg as much as you can. So again, this part is going up, this part is pulling up to the nape of your neck, and you're getting a nice stretch in the back of you. And then you'll bring that leg down to do the other side. So that's sort of the basic, building up to kind of a basic version of the tree. And that should serve you very well for a while. And then as you get more proficient, we'll discuss some options for what to do when you get back there if you go all the way back. I'm going to do the other leg. So I've taken my leg out. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to walk up toward my ankle, lifting my back. I'm going to stretch over. This is my tighter side. And then use your stomach, reach your legs far away from you, pull your stomach in the opposite direction. And it's also nice to note, I'm thinking of it because I'm looking right now, the person that's doing the tree, if that's your student, they have a great vantage point to notice whether the strap is tight or not before they start to go back toward the well. So it's a really nice thing to notice and to let them notice so that they can always be in control and know what their strap is doing and not get any surprises when they're back there. So, pulling the stomach in. As you get more and more proficient, maybe you go all the way back. And then you pick your head up and you come all the way back up. So initially you might go back all the way only on one of them. Maybe 2 halfway back, 1, the last one all the way back. Eventually, you'll go all the way back on all 3. So you go back a second time, and then a third time, where you'll end with your big stretch again. And then, once that happens, you can go back all the way each time. Then, when you feel secure, you can do some stuff while you're back there. I'll explain. So you've done your first one. Usually the first one, you just go back normally, and you come back up. On the second one, once you get all the way down there, you can reach your hands to the ceiling and reach as far on the frame as you can. You're going to pull with your hands, pull with the foot in the strap, reach the toe to the ceiling and pull your stomach in. And then you'll pick your head up, come all the way back up. So that was number 2. And if that's all good, maybe on the last one, you can do some leg circles. You'll put your hands on the floor, you'll press up, and then you'll do 3 leg circles in each direction. And then you'll pick your head up and climb back up. Reach your heel to the ceiling, pull your stomach in, and stretch. So clearly, by the time you're going to add the leg circles, you're comfortable being there for a while. Even though they're quite brisk, you have to be really supported so your back doesn't bother you on the box. It's a great way, actually, It's kind of a tough love way of learning how to use your stomach when you do a single leg circle on the mat, because when you do it in a back bend, you have no choice but to use your stomach to hold yourself together. So one other thing I want to mention is kind of what's happening with the strap. Because sometimes as people climb up and down their leg, it can be a lot of arms pulling you up and down versus leading with the center. So let's talk about how to use the strap a little bit and what's going on with the hips, because often there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to get the straps. Okay, so you've learned in the 4 round, reach, side, twist, 4 or 5 exercises that precede the tree, where you have both feet in the strap. You're really learning how to stretch this one way and pull this the other way to go back. Oh, that felt nice. So, as we know about our friend Joe Pilates, what you can do with 2 legs, he believes that eventually you need to do with one doing one thing and one doing another thing. So that's what's happening in the tree. In the tree, you still have the reach of one leg to the strap, but now you've got a reach of the other leg to the ceiling. And you still want that same kind of that going that way, this going this way kind of action. But now you're going to get it with one leg in the air. So you're going to reach your legs where they're going and you're going to pull your stomach back. And then really kind of use your lower body to help you haul yourself back up again. So what we've learned from the short box series already, and actually there's a few posts, I love the short box series, there's like many posts that I've written about it in various places. So I'll try to link all of those below in the blog post as well as in the description box below the video on YouTube. And you've really cultivated this part of the body, which is in the strap attached to the apparatus. So this part of the body is really doing the lion's share of the work, while this part does fancy dancy things up top. So the tree is not an exception. The tree is this part of the body kind of really reaching away and working hard to keep all of the hips square and to reach and help you so that all of this is going to lift you up and these guys are just guiding. Oh, that feels good. So thank you so much for watching. If you have further questions on this topic, the short box and tree we could talk about for a very long time. Please let me know. Leave a question in the comments below or on the blog. Contact me on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing for more videos just like this one. And if you have any requests on exercises you'd like to see in a video tutorial, please let me know. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. And now you're going to keep the carriage out there. You're going to pull your sternum forward so that you still are all on your lower body and you're not going to be all on your arms. When the carriage comes in, this is the part that if the lower body is not working and you're just kind of hanging out, it's really hard to push